Okay, well, we're now ready to put the Kaiser back together. I've put a few things on purely because it's easier. Put the pillars on, put the bit that operates the moon phase on. I had to put that on because if you remember, this was bent, so I had to make sure it all worked. I had to super glue the moon back together because it was coming adrift. I put some masking tape on this wheel as a friction medium to just so it very slightly grips the moon and turns it. So I've had to mess about and straighten that a bit and do a lot of messing about to get it to get the moon to turn relatively freely. So it's now a matter of just getting it all put back together, and that's what I'm going to do now. The second wheel in first because it goes underneath the first wheel. That one goes in there. It's a bit different to a normal torsion clock because that shaft goes through the front plate. That's the bit that operates the moon phase, which goes in there. What else have we got? That goes in there. That one goes in there that way up. Better put the barrel in, haven't we? Now, because the click's on the inside, luckily that slightly clips on, so just put it in, slide it in, and then bring it over. It's a bit of a fiddly job, but it does go in. The last thing is the anchor. And it's just a matter of lining everything up and make sure everything's got a bit of end shake. I'll put a couple of screws on there tentatively just to keep it on there and keep it square. That's all it's for. If you try and do it without any nuts or with another sort with the pins, you'll find it will get one bit in and the other bit will come out. I'll locate all the pivots off camera because it's easier. It takes a bit of time, and we'll come back after that's done. Thank you. Okay, I've got it all together now, so it's a matter of checking end shake. Make sure there's end shake on all the pivots, which there is. A bit on the barrel as well. I don't know why I put the anchor on because I didn't need to, because that goes on afterwards. So now all I do is give it a couple of clicks before I oil anything. Yeah, make sure everything spins as it should. Which it does. That's only 3 clicks. That should run down quite happily now. And once I'm happy with that, oil everything, put the anchor on, mount it on the base, and run it without the hands and dial and all that on for a few hours, just to make sure it will stay going. I won't bother showing you putting the anchor on because that's relatively straightforward. Just goes on with this. I don't know what that bit of paper's there for. Perhaps just to pack it out a little bit to give it a bit more end shake. But we'll have a look when we put it together. The next job before I test run this is obviously put all the pendulum together, so I'll get set up and show you how I do that. Thank you very much. Okay, well the movement's all back together, running smooth, ready to go. And then we need to put the pendulum and everything together. I've already put the posts on and the base, so that saves a little bit of time. That goes through there, and then we put it on something to pack it up a bit, hold it up. Do it that way round so you can see. This sits on, goes on with the hexagon bit downwards, so it sits on that bit there. If I can't find the hole. There we are. Then this little nut thing goes on. It's a bit of a fiddly job, but and all I do is put a screwdriver in one slot and then just tighten it up if I can. It's very tight, that one is, for some reason. I'll check the thread on that, I think, before we go any further. Very tight. Right on the end there it's tight, so can't do much about that really. Just have to be careful when I'm doing it up. Hold it in my hand and then I know I've got some control over it. Keep meaning to make a little tool to undo these, but I haven't got round to it yet. Do it with my fingers as much as I can, I think. Once I get past that first initial bit, it's quite free then. Don't need wanging up tight, as long as it's got the hexagon inside the bottom of the ball, then that's fine. Then I wrap a bit of tissue around it. Just gives it a bit of protection when you're working on the other end. That's all. Because it has to go up that way. So make sure you've got the two washers on there before it goes through. Try and do it the other way around so you can see what I'm doing. Then there's two more little washers that go on there. Then the pendulum goes on, and make sure that these two little lugs sit in the circular bit, because if they don't sit in, then you're not going to get any adjustment. Bit of a fiddly job to do, but that one's in, that one's in. So it's quite a fiddly job. Then it has one nut on. Cool. That is tight. Again, that's because the threads are a bit chewed on there. I clean them up as best I can, but still not brilliant. Don't like that at all. Let's try a different nut. Don't like that at all. Try that. Let's come out with some location again, isn't it? Now do that up, pinch it up, and then bring it off one complete turn, because then this little bit goes in there. Well, it would if I didn't drop it. Oh, get on there. That goes on there. And it sits on that nut, which goes in them lugs as well. Not sure that's down properly. Better. Didn't think it was quite down enough. Now that little bit goes on, and then the other nut goes over the top, which locks the two together. There we go again. then that should bring the, turning that should bring the weights in and out. But it's not. Perhaps it's not locked up enough. Try that. A bit too tight now, I think. Oh, I think we're going to have that off and have another look at that. Okay, I've managed to get it together and working. So I've got no dial or anything on at the moment, just want to make sure it runs as is first, so I shall leave it till tomorrow now, let it run. And I haven't changed the torsion spring yet, this is the original one, but I will change it before it goes back to the customer. I just thought I'd test it with this one. Not convinced about that the fork either. I've got a feeling that that may need changing. As long as it keeps running, I should be quite happy. And then we'll get the dial and hands on tomorrow and change the torsion spring and start getting it regulated. If it runs like this, but it doesn't run when I put the dial and everything on, it's probably going to be the moon phase, maybe a bit too much friction, but we won't know that until I try it. Thank you very much.